Good morning, 3EB. So today it's Tuesday and it's the 16th of June. Let's concentrate on that. So the first thing is I'm really sorry about giving you a unit of Spellbound yesterday that you've already done. Just shows how rubbish my memory is at the moment, doesn't it? So if you by any chance hadn't done the weather unit, so I'm guessing somebody like Kike, and you've gone ahead to do that, brilliant. Okay, that's absolutely super. If, like most of you, you will have noticed you've already done it. If you'd looked on the Teams assignments, you would have noticed that there've been some comments about it, and I suggested that you went back to do Unit 5, which was a unit that nobody had done. Okay, so most of you have picked up and have done that one instead. Okay, so to just check those out, we've got lots of animal words. It says farm animals as the theme. Just check we're okay with them. So block 1, horse, cow, donkey, sheep. I can't imagine anybody having a problem with those. Then block 2, goat, sheepdog. A sheepdog is a compound word, isn't it? It's made of 2 individual words. So a sheepdog is one of the dogs that keeps all the sheep together. Okay, sheepdog, pig, and a foal. Do we know what a foal is? Yeah, it's a young horse, a foal. Okay, then block 3, we've got more young animals. Calf, so that's a young cow. Totally different meaning. Homophone, well, I can't even get my leg up. The calf is also the back of your leg. Okay, the back of your lower leg. Okay, so we did talk about calf muscles when we were doing parts of the body, but in this context, calf is a young cow. Lamb is a young sheep. Piglet, obviously, is a young pig. And a kid. Now, not only is it slang for a young human like you, slang for a child, a kid is also a young goat. Okay, then we've got duck, hen, goose, and turkey. All different types of typical farm birds. Okay, good. So you can get cracking with those. I noticed in the crossword, there was a simile in the crossword in one down. It says, we say, as silly as a Now, it's a simile, as silly as something. It's a simile that I've never heard of or ever used. Maybe it's just me, I don't know. But we can see it's got 5 letters. So it's one of the animals that's 5 letters. And I can work out from the letters that I've gained from the other words as to what it has to be. So rather than thinking, oh, I don't know, finish everything off, and then you should be able to work out which animal is in the simile. As silly as a, maybe it's something they say in Ireland, because this book is Irish. And number 3 across is another one that I'm just wondering if you know. A flock of. Now, flock is a what we call a collective noun. It's a word that we use for a group of something, and in this case, it's for a group of sheep. If we have a group of sheep together, we call them a flock of sheep. Okay? If it were cows, we would say a herd of cows. But 3 across, a flock of sheep. Okay. And I think everything else there you should be fine and dandy with. Okay, then your maths work is about factors again. So we had some factors practice last week, and we said we would come back and do a bit more practice with your factors this week. So you've got into Math Star page 53, if I'm not mistaken. And we need to remember that a factor is a number that we can divide into another number and get a whole number answer. Another way of looking at it, we started to do this last week, is to think if we multiply 2 factors together, then we get a multiple. So let's say if we multiply 3 and 4 together, 3 times 4 and get 12, that means 3 is a factor of 12 and 4 is another factor of 12. Okay, we also remembered that there are always two easy factors to a number. 1, you can always divide a whole number by 1. Okay, and the number itself, you can always divide your multiple by itself and get the answer of 1. Okay, but most numbers also have other pairs of factors, not all of them. So if you take 17, for instance, the only numbers that you can divide into 17 is 1 and 1 and 17. It hasn't got any other factors. Okay, and numbers like that, if they've only got 2 factors, 1 and themselves, are called prime numbers. There's another word to throw in for today. Okay, so if a number has only got 2 factors, itself and 1, it's a prime number. Okay, so let's have a look at what you've got to do today. The first exercise isn't super difficult, but I think it's a little bit confusing the way that they put it on the page. So I unfortunately haven't got a copy because I'm running out of paper. It's the end of my paper roll. Right, so if you have a look at it and you'll see that there's a chart and it's colour-coded. And in the example, the green part of the chart, if you follow the example across, gives you the number 9. And on the chart, it's got the factors of 9 shaded in. So 1 and 9 and 3 are shaded in green because they are the factors of 9. You can do 1 times 9 is 9 and 3 times 3 is 9. Okay? Then you've got a pink section. If you have a look at the example, it's written in pink and then it's asking you to work out what the multiple must be from the factors that are in pink. So you've got a little block that coincides with 2 and 6. When you look at the chart, you'll know what I mean. So you've got a little pink square that coincides with 2 and 6. And you've got another couple of pink squares coinciding with 3 and 4. Okay? So in other words, what must the multiple be if the factors are 2 and 6 and 3 and 4? Yeah, you've got it. So the multiple must be 12. Okay, with factors of 2, 6, 3, 4. Now, if you've got space, you could also add in, because you were hopefully saying, but it's also got factors of 1 and 12. Okay, that's another way that you can make 12. Okay, the blue one, they haven't given you so much help. They've indicated that 1 pair of factors are 5 and 4. So that should already give you what the multiple is. And then you've got to carry on and say other factors that can be multiplied together to make this number, okay, that we get from 5 times 4. I don't want to give too much away, I want you to think yourself, okay? But if you look at that gives you this part, and then you've got to think of other factors, other numbers you can multiply together to get that, okay? And you know what that is because you know the answer to that bit, okay? And the yellow coding is similar. They give you a clue by saying 2 factors, a matching pair, 2 and 8. Okay, 2 times 8. What does that give you? And then what are the other ways of making that number by multiplication? In other words, what other factors does it have? What other pairs of factors? Okay, so I hope that helps a little bit. But in order to understand that explanation, you really do need to have the Intermath page in front of you. Okay, then you've got a question where you've got like snowflakes. And in the middle of each snowflake, there is a number, a bigger number, multiple. So one of the examples has got 24 in the middle. And then around it, on the spikes of its flake, it's got some of its factors. And the idea is you complete that by saying what the other factors are. Okay, and what you can do as well is think about, okay, what's the pair that goes with it? So factors of 24, well, we've got 1. And it hasn't got 24 yet, has it? Okay, so we can maybe do that by showing that's the bit that's dead opposite 1. We've got a factor of 24. It doesn't really matter where you put it, but these sort of pairs are to help you. So another factor of 24 is 2. What's its matching pair? 24 divided by 2 gives you what? Well, 2 times what gives you 24? 12. Okay, so that's another factor that we need to add in. This space is opposite a factor of 3. So what's the matching pair there? 24 divided by 3 gives us, or 3 times 8 gives us 24. Okay, and then we've got one missing one here, a factor of 4. So 24 divided by 4 gives us the other factor, or 4 times it gives us 24, and hopefully you're shouting out the screen that the missing factor there is 6. So we've done that one together, and we've shown how you can think about it as factor pairs, and you've got other snowflakes that you've got to fill in. Okay, then what else? There's another question where you've got to link calculations and answers together so that they all match. So there's an example done for you, and I've picked out, it looks a bit weird like that, but again, if you look at your Intermath book, it'll make more sense. So in one column, one of the calculations is 10 times 4, okay? Now, in the next column, there are a load of answers. You've got to find the answer, okay? So hopefully, that's not difficult, is it? 10 times 4, 4 times 10. You'll find, you can link it to 40. 40 is already there, okay? So you just got to link it to the right one. Then, from that answer, you've got to go to the next column where there are a load of calculations, and you've got to find one that also makes 40, okay? So I haven't finished that off because I wanted you to think about it, but you should spot that there's another one there that's 2 times 20, okay? So you link those together. They've all basically going to have a multiple and then calculations that match it. And these are obviously the factors of 40, aren't they? They're different numbers that you can multiply together to get that answer. So 10 and 4 are both factors of 40. 2 and 20 are both factors of 40. Okay? And then there's a fourth column that you've got to finish off yourself. So you've got to make sure that you then, some way or another, join it to another calculation which will also give 40. So there's lots of possibilities. Anybody want to suggest something? Yeah, maybe you can sort it out so you've got that also attached to, say, 5 times 8, because that also gives 40. So these are all linked together to make the same number. They're all 40, one way or another. Okay, so you've got to try and make that work out. The last question, you've got like those little rainbow illustrations of factors again. So one of them, that I've just scribbled down here, asks you to give factors of 28. So again, putting them into pairs is a good way of helping you keep track of it. So what could we have? What's the easy one? The easy pair? Okay, so you could have 1 and 28. Okay, and I'm just going to link them together to make that rainbow thing, although I've not got much paper space. Other factors of 28. So 28 divided by something gives you a whole number, or two numbers that you know you can multiply together to get 28. Somebody's telling me, good, somebody's telling me 2 and 14. Yeah, 2 times 14, so I could link those together. A rainbow. Okay, so far we've got 1, 2, 3, 4 different factors of 28. Any others? 3 doesn't work. No, somebody's saying 3, that doesn't work. Somebody's saying 4. Yeah, 4 works. So 28 divided by 4 gives us 7. Okay, so there's another pair. 5, no. 6, no. 7 we've already got. Okay, and then we're pretty much back to where we started. So they are our pairs of factors of 28, and there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And it was just easier, I think, for us to think about them in pairs. But if you don't put them all in pairs, it doesn't matter, as long as you try and work out all the different factors of that particular number. So there's lots of clues here that you can maybe pause the video and go and fill in some of your maths work, but the rest of it you're going to need to do yourself, or try your hardest. If you've got any problems, give me a message, send me a message, or ask me about it the next time we see each other, or use one of the check-in sessions at 1:30 to just come and ask a question if you are stuck. Okay, what else do you need to do? Check your bean if necessary. Remember, we're all meeting up on Thursday. Okay, not today, but on Thursday again to see how that's all going. But keep an eye on your bean. Do you need to water it? Okay. My L1 English children, you've got work linked to Roald Dahl's Dirty Beast the Lion today. So you should find that on your assignments. And lastly, if you choose to come to the meeting today at 1:30, which is an optional one, a choose if you want to one, we're going to look at your dinosaur PowerPoints. Okay, so do you remember we were just finishing them off when all of a sudden we went into lockdown, and I just needed to take them away and have a look at your spellings and check that you hadn't missed hadn't left any blank slides. So I've had a look at them. I haven't taken anything away or written anything myself, but I might have just checked out some spellings, and I might have just tidied it up a little bit. Maybe there was some writing that was so small we couldn't read. So it would be really nice to share those. So if you want to come to the meeting today at 1:30, you can have a look at those all together. And then what I'll do afterwards, if it's all right with everyone, is I'll send those out so that you have got your own copy of those PowerPoints. Okay, right. So hopefully I'll see some of you later. If not, I'll see you tomorrow at your morning time for Maths and Discovery of the World. Okay, so no video tomorrow morning because we'll all be meeting. Okay, bye-bye.